Live at Media Row, we are back with the Betting News Network. Danny Burke, Bart Oates, Steve Blumenshine. Guys, it has been a heck of a week here in San Francisco. Obviously.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far, so good. Familiar territory for you.
Love it
Old
here.
Stomping grounds. How's it been treating you?
I love this area. Although, like I tell you, when I was the 2 years I played here, 94, 95, we were down in Santa Clara already. But coming up here, so you live down there, you practice down there, you work down there. I mean, I think my wife came up here a lot. I really didn't come up to San Francisco. One of the most memorable is after we won the Super Bowl, is we had Super Bowl parade here in downtown, which was great for me because I had two of them with New York prior to that, and in both of them we didn't have a parade.
Oh.
So it was the only parade I had. So it was awesome.
So how does this Super Bowl nowadays compare to when you were going back to them? I'm sure there wasn't as much mayhem.
No, it's just the pandemonium, right? The attention, just everything about it. Radio Row was fairly, just a couple little tables here and there, and now it's like everybody wants to be part of this. It's just a great way to get together, to share some messages and camaraderie and fellowship, and so it's just it's great.
Steve, how about yourself? How many Super Bowl appearances have you had making Media Row wise? Is this your first?
This
have you been
is my
to
first. I'm a newbie. So
hey,
this
likewise.
is pretty exciting. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So,
how's it been for you taking all of this in?
I spent 20 years in television, and so I'm used to this. But it's
Steve has 3 Grammys.
3 Grammys.
Emmys,
Yeah.
Grammys.
I don't sing.
He's winning awards.
Emmys.
either
I don't
way.
say.
There we go. I knew I had that.
Yeah.
Dang it, I've been saying Grammys the whole time.
It's okay. It's okay. They're all-
I was going to have you sing for us if that was the
Yeah.
case. I was kind of pumped to hear that. So, unfortunately, we may have to get some of your broadcasting expertise
That's
instead.
right.
So,
Yeah.
but, walking around here, and again, back in the city of San Francisco, maybe not one of your most favorite teams is playing in the game on Sunday. Are you directly rooting against the Seattle Seahawks? How do those emotions still loom these days?
No, they're not very deep. I got to tell you, the hurt has gone. I do remember I played in Seattle the year that we won our first Super Bowl, or rather the second Super Bowl in 1990. Lost to them actually, and we only lost a couple of games that year. But that was one of them. Tough place to play. And then my Giants, since I've left, have done pretty good against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Having 2 victories, last 2 victories from the Giants were because of beating the Patriots. So I can honestly say I just don't have a real dog in the fight. I like to watch good football. What happens is, what's different about this game, by the way, is, and most people don't appreciate, is there's 2 weeks of preparation.
Right.
Okay, and typically as the season goes, you have 1 week every week, and you get into this rhythm, and all of a sudden things stop, and it's like, I got 2 weeks to get ready for, and so you kind of you game plan it, then you re-game plan it, and then I just remember changing things from the first week of practice, getting ready, and then the second week, particularly with the Giants, not so much with the 49ers, but it's like, we kept changing things around and kind of perfecting things, and so it requires. So you typically, what I see, the team that's a little bit better tends to separate themselves a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what it seems like we've heard from a lot of former players, is the biggest thing outside of just the day-to-day practice that everybody would attribute these 2 weeks with is making sure your teammates aren't distracted and doing anything crazy on the side and just staying laser focused. I assume that's the biggest challenge.
It is, yeah. No, absolutely. It's making sure. Although I got to tell you what, one thing, I had Parcells in the first 2, and he was just a master of being able to read his players, and he would. Before we got into the game, leading up to the playoffs, he was tight. I mean, just in the week of the game, it's like there's this different person. Like they changed place with an alien from outer space who didn't know what football was. It stood there and just was so calm and just like whatever. And you think like, who is this guy? But he had this idea. So your job is to get to the game, and I don't have to worry about you after that. So work.
Obviously, along those 2 weeks, you need to get your body restored, a lot of recovery. What helps with that is something you have a lot of expertise in, red light therapy. Tell us a little bit about that and everything you have going on.
Yeah, so Bart's been great. He's introducing us to a lot of people. He's been using our device.
Do it myself.
Yeah, and so we really are just starting to crack open that sports opportunity for our company, and we're one of the unusual folks that have built something.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, bless you.
I need more red light therapy.
Yeah. So red light therapy really does work at the cellular level to just enhance performance for athletes. It's great for everybody, but in that 2 weeks you're talking about, you're just trying to prepare. You want to be the best. Light therapy is a great recovery and performance additive as a tool. So.
Yeah, and I see a lot more people doing it nowadays. A lot of my friends see it on social media, across all type of different web pages. For people who may be a bit unaware about it, and they look at that, they go, what the heck's going on? I mean, what would you tell them to kind of reassure them that, no, this is, good product, safe, all this, and the benefits that come along with it?
Right. It really matters what type of product you buy. So a lot of the stuff you're seeing on Amazon and the big box stores, let's just say it's not great. So from a guy who does a lot of clinical work and research in red light therapy, you really have to be following some laws of physics. That's what our products are trying to do. That's why a lot of athletic clubs and doctors' offices are putting our system in versus the stuff you're going to find online. There's a big difference. There's some laws of physics you have to follow. Most of the systems you see right now are like tanning beds. They're so far away from the skin, they don't penetrate into that muscle tissue. They're just surfacey. We want to get in there and really enhance performance, so we're going deep, different wavelengths, different technology.
Bart, obviously you're helping alongside that, but post-career, an attorney, that's a path that you took.
How
did we end up there?
So I was an accounting major. I was kind of a nerd going through school, so I got my degree, and but I really didn't want to go work in the accounting world, and I was playing football, so I'm figuring I got a long off season, so I started going to law school, graduated, and then the problem was I graduated and I still was playing, so now I actually had to work during the off season, and then I would play during the season. So it was just natural. I went to school. You go long enough, you'll get the degree.
You're making this seem easy. It just comes natural.
Well, you go to class, and I was a nerd though. I mean, I went to class, and so law school is the Socratic method, and you've got to there's reading the case law, then applying the case law, and so I'd come to class. I was always prepared. I mean, I was the guy. A lot of the classes, they get busy, the kids, and they got things that are going on, and so I read every case it was. I was prepared going in. I studied same thing with the bar. I told my wife to go away. I secluded myself for 2 months. Just studied. Because I knew I was only going to take the bar one time. So
jack of all trades, my man. That is impressive. Before we get you out of here, I do want to ask, I've had a lot of fun asking some former players this question. You have played with a lot of great players throughout your tenure in the NFL. Yes. Who would be one of the most underrated, undervalued teammate that you had a chance to play with that maybe didn't get as much recognition?
Maybe probably haven't heard of him, Lawrence Taylor.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, underrated. And Lawrence is even today still considered like probably the best defensive guy who's ever played the game. Underrated players. Yeah, I have a teammate, Jim Burke. Played nose tackle, very popular, but he was a guy that was barely above 6 feet. He was wasn't even 260 pounds, playing nose tackle, and played it well. I mean, he was tough, and we would go against each other, practice. He made me better. He was probably one of the more, I'd say, underrated guys.
Love it. Appreciate the time, gentlemen. We've got Bart Oates, we've got Steve Blumenshine. Thank you, gentlemen, for
stopping by.
All right,
thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.